right, let's get to some quarterback conversations. The Seattle Seahawks need Geno Smith to at least get to the wild card this season or win the division. Sam Howell is not winning you another game. I believe it with every bone in my being that Sam Howell is not going to win games. And I don't care what you say. A lot of people on Twitter are saying, "Oh, he needs a couple of reps in practice." Bro, we saw what happened when Geno Smith came in for Russell Wilson in that Rams game when Aaron Donald knocked Geno Smith out. Knocked Russell Wilson out. Geno Smith looked like a capable quarterback. He got us a touchdown. He was moving stuff. That's how your backup quarterback should be. Sam Howell, he looked scared. He looked, rattled. His pocket awareness was questionable. I was watching, I was watching the stadium. And was like, hey man, Seahawks fans, you got what you wished for. Geno Smith is actually making this offensive line better than they are. I believe that. I believe Geno Smith is making this offensive line better than they are. And yes, you can talk about the red zone. I think it does have to do with some play calling as well and offensive line protections. But this quarterback there's no quarterback controversy, and Sam Howell is not the answer. Check this out. So there was this data that came out from, and I can send it to you later. So there's this data that came out from it was from the 33rd team. So they posted this today. They said Sam Howell had a net 5 yards versus the Packers. That is the ninth worst QB. That was the ninth worst game by a QB with 15% dropbacks since the year 2000. So that shows you the type of quarterback Sam Howell is.
Yeah, it was bad. Sam Howell came in and the game was doomed right from there. I mean, you said it. He played scared. He looked scared. Let's just jump to the pick. That was one of the worst interceptions I've seen in a long, long time. And it wasn't and the reason why, because there's a lot of picks like that to the linebacker across the middle. But the problem I had with that play was that there was no pressure in Sam Howell's face. He had a clean pocket, and that ball was rushed. That ball was really rushed out of his hand, and it was right to the linebacker. I mean, the linebacker was just sitting there. He didn't make a crazy play. It was right to him, and so that pick was horrible. I mean, when you have a clean pocket like that, which he didn't have a ton, so I'm not going to just completely dog on Sam. I mean, the pocket kept collapsing on him a lot, but there he had a clean pocket, and he just delivered one gift wrapped right to the linebacker across the middle, and it just that was the game. I mean, that was the game right there. That's when I checked out for the night, and
Yeah, me too.
um,
That's when I left
it
the
was
stadium.
it was yeah. I turned the game off. Then I was like, and then I see on Twitter that Romeo Dobbs scored another touchdown there late, which was just a crazy catch. And Denver was his first touchdown he let up this season, but it was just the game was already over anyway. And um, it was just it was the offense didn't move, and we came in the first one with the touchdown with Charbonnet, but it's through Charbonnet, but the offense just never moved with Sam Howell. He did play jitters in the pocket. Um, it was really, really horrific. He had a 26.9 PFF grade. I mean, if you've got a 2 in front of at the start of your PFF grade, that
I
really
believe
tells
Drew
you all you
Lock
need to know for
would
the
have
day.
played better. Drew Lock would have played better.
I agree. I agree 100%. So looking back on the trade for Sam Howell, I understand why John Schneider made that trade. I understand what his thinking was there, and I talked about it in a previous episode. You liked Sam Howell coming out of college. You take a crack at him. He's not going to come in and start. But I think we have our answer. I think we have our answer on Sam Howell. I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to be a guy for us. And I was watching some quarterback film earlier today, some college quarterback film, and I don't think an answer is coming in the draft either. So
Yeah.
it's on Geno. We're going to turn the page back to Geno, and I think we've seen a lot. I
Yeah.
think what Sam Howell showed us is that Geno Smith is helping everyone out. Geno Smith is better than everyone's giving him credit for. Geno Smith's been dealt a tough hand all season long, and so Geno didn't play well.
Yeah.
He didn't, and
Mhm.
the end zone pick was insanely tough. And I see that concept all the time, and it always ends up in an interception.
Yeah.
The Packers are in cover 2. that corner that's sitting in the flats just drops, and there it is. It has to be the most perfect throw you've ever seen for that to be a touchdown, and we weren't getting that.
Yeah.
And
I didn't
um,
see any check down
it,
options though
it
on
just, but
that
it all
play.
started.
I didn't see any check down options.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't either. And we've got to be quicker because the part of that throw was that the Packers had pressure and they were in his face. And I know Geno's not one to take a sack there, but Geno also has to be smarter about just kind of lobbing it up in the end zone where two defenders are close to each other. And
Yeah,
it was a good pick
that's
too.
a
It was a bit
bad
of an off
that was a
balance
bad.
pick, but that doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact that it was just a bad read. And
I
I
agree.
understand there was a lot of pressure in his face, and sometimes maybe you just got to take the sack and take the
Or
points.
dirt
You
it,
know,
like Matthew Stafford. Like Matthew Stafford, when he sees a free rusher or too much pressure, he'll just put that ball in the dirt. Live to
yeah,
fight another
yeah.
day.
Let's get 3 points and let's go play defense, right? But no, it's momentum. Completely, you throw a pick in the end zone, and that's a ton of the momentum factor of that, And so, there's just Geno. That showed us, with Sam Howell coming in, it showed us who Geno is. Geno's our guy. He's going to be our guy next year. Um, and we're just gonna have to live with it. But it's gonna start up front. We need to be able to run the ball better. We need to pass protect better, and we need to address that this offseason so that can be a thing for us. And um, we gotta help our quarterbacks out.
Yeah. So what type of offensive line does Geno Smith need to help this team win a couple of playoff games? Is it give me a comp? Is it the Lions offensive line? Does he need that type of offensive line to get us to?
I wish we had. I wish we had. I mean, in today's NFL, you need a great O line to be a true contender. I mean, like I said, just look at all the top teams right now. The offensive line plays great. We need to be able to run the ball because all those teams can also run the football. And so that's what ultimately Seattle needs to be able to do is run the football, and that will open up a lot because it just keeps that front seven on the opposing defense honest. It's hard when we're sitting back in shotgun and they know that the run game's not going, and it just makes it a lot easier for these pass rushers to get out of their stance and make the pass rush moves they want to make because they know that they're going to be passing the football here, and everything will open up with a consistent run game. And I don't think Kenneth Walker last night was changing that either. And so we just need some road graders. We need some road graders, and it starts in the interior. I think we are fine at tackle. We really are. We just need some guys in the inside, and I hope we double dip. I hope we could maybe triple dip on interior offensive linemen in this draft because it's a really good interior offensive line draft class, and the Seahawks have a very clear and obvious need there. So I just they just need more talent. They need more
Do you
talent in
see
the
like
middle.
any plug and play guys that if you draft in the first 2 rounds, they can start for you right away and
Uh,
make a difference?
yeah, definitely. Kelvin Banks from Texas. I think once it's all said and done, he'll go higher than where we're going to be picking. But I think he's a guy that could come in and make an impact and has positional versatility. I think we obviously want to put him at guard, but I think he does have tackle ability if situation came up. He's one of my favorites in this class. I think he'll be kind of out of our reach. I apologize. I don't. The kid from Arizona. He's got a tricky last name. I'd have to look at it again deeper. He's a plug and play guy. I think he's a guy that Seattle could legitimately be taking here in April. And then Tyler Booker from Alabama. I mean, he's another guy that could come in, start day one, and would be impactful for us right off the rip. And the Seahawks definitely need to. They'll do their homework. I mean, we're not dealing with a joke of a franchise here, right? They're going to do their due diligence and make sure they get the right guy for us. But yeah, the beauty of where we're at right now in this draft class is there will be opportunities for us to take a guy that could come in day one and start.
Mm.
In a perfect world, I'd love us to make a little bit of a signing in free agency at one of those guard positions, just so we can get a guy that's proven it at this level.
Mm.
And I know that's going to hurt John Schneider's pockets, but you got to do it. This is just unacceptable. And then I'd love to see us dip in on one of those young guards that I think can be an instant impact guy, come in and start day one, open up the competition a little bit more on the offensive line. Satoa Lamea's, guard two. that's he's
I
backing
think
up
he
somebody
needs a couple years.
that's
He needs a couple years to develop, but I
yeah,
see a promising future for him.
that's not a bad thing, and so there's a lot of guys in this draft class that they can definitely dive into, but I hopefully they address it. It's not going to be the flashiest draft pick, but it's going to be a very necessary one.